Hey Ellie, so I'm just looking over your rack card. I'm liking it. You do have, let's see here. Do you have your file set up right? So 15 to finish is kind of the term that they use for how many credits you need per semester. So your text boxes are pretty big. One thing you can do is push Shift on your keyboard to get them all selected at the same time, and then do Option Command C to make them shrink around. This graphic is pretty close to the edge. I would just make this a little bit bigger and maybe just knock these down. I don't know if they're all the same size. It kind of looks like maybe the 15 is a little bigger. So we can grab these. We can use the alignment panel. If I can find it. Window, object layout, align. I don't know, I think it maybe got closed to my properties panel. But we can align these through the center. Oops. I have it aligned to, I have it on page, but let's do selection. And let's move those through the middle maybe, and then we'll put them through the middle of the, so that this space and this space are even. You might want to move some of this over just a little bit that way too, and then maybe this could move over just a little bit. Okay, and then I want to grab this and Command G to group it. And I want to, actually let's see here. I'm going to do Shift Command G to ungroup. I want to just tighten up this box around this graphic. Command G, and then I'm going to align this to the page, and I'm going to center align that. And then these two, grab these, Shift, make sure they're aligned. Oops, not to the page. I want to go back to selection. And let's just put these through the middle. And I kind of want to bring these a little closer. Just pushing Shift and moving those over. And making sure that that space is the same on either side. Just tightening that up a little bit. Just making sure it's centered. I would move this away from the edge a bit. So the 15 to finish, I don't know if it makes a ton of sense in here. I like the way that it's breaking up the page, and I think it looks good, but I wonder if we could put something like 4 years to finish, or something that makes a little bit more sense. Maybe you could even put your title in here. I don't know. Let's see, I'm going to ungroup it. Let's make this all uppercase. Okay. And then maybe we could just, I don't know, have it replace this maybe. Get a little bit bigger. That would make a little bit more sense. I mean, the 15 to finish is something we use when we are advising. So it doesn't make a ton of sense in the context that you're using it in, like, but maybe just still using this graphic that you came up with would be a good idea. But just making it make sense in the context of what we're using this, what we're doing here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I mean, you could use it like that. And it would make a little bit more sense. This is a little close to that edge. I would just center it inside of the white space and move it up. How big is this? 9 points. What if we could do 10? And then increase that to 13 maybe. We could get rid of formats. We could get rid of this. Okay, so maybe something more like this. These are all nice. Let's look at the RNCMYK. The effective PPI looks pretty good on all of your links so far. This is an RGB. Joel. Let's see. Mine's an RGB. So you'd want to change those up a bit. I like this, but I think you could actually have more room to play with down here. Just move that up. Maybe trying to kind of, I don't know, reuse the same idea, but just down here might be a good idea too, so that you're kind of reusing some of your motifs. Maybe we just want to make these this color. And then we can find that apply today text and maybe make it white. This is Arial, that's good. It's white. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe moving this down so it's not quite so close. What is this? Times New Roman. Maybe trying a bold on that. Yeah, and then I would move this down a little bit so that it's centered inside the box. And this is a little big. We can use the free transform, pushing shift on our keyboard, move that, and just kind of try and get that, just some more breathing room around it. The bleeds look good. We might want to put a comma after Howard. Okay. Let's look over here. I don't think we want to use this alone. I think we want to probably try to bring over maybe the horizontal logo instead of just the symbol. So we do a file place. I think I have my documents. Let me show you the logo here. We want to go with the horizontal logo actually here. Probably an Illustrator file would be good, the white one. I didn't bring that into my brand guide for some reason. But maybe something more like this up here. And maybe a little bit smaller. And then let's see, how did we do this? So we could do another repeat of this for here. Oops, I should have made that. Okay, and then we can just do this and go to properties, and there is the TT, the capital TT, and then we could probably make like this on 2 lines maybe. I don't know if it's going to have the same effect. You could also say the professors, and just make this yellow, or the print gold, I guess is what it's called. Oops. Something like that, maybe. And then you could change the icon too if you needed to. So let's see, let's try to get all this selected without selecting these things. And then we could always maybe get rid of some of this foreground, maybe get rid of some of my body, and then we could just bring that down so there's a little bit of white space. I think adding in, this is the same as the front. And we want to make this uppercase probably to match. And maybe use that yellow still on options. I can get it selected. And let's see, what size is this box? I'm just going to copy paste it because I think this one might be smaller or not as tall, which we want to keep it consistent. If we're going to use that graphic, we want to keep it consistent throughout the design. It can be probably shorter this way or longer, but like at least the same height. And then these can be moved. Let's see, maybe we can move these up a little bit. And this all can move a little bit up so that we can move these up a little bit more. And maybe just even cut off a little bit more to make room. And then, let's see, W. Maybe positioning me so that I'm a little bit more centered in the frame. What is this? Maybe put this on 10 point and left align. Maybe make this a little bit wider. What's the gutter on this? I wonder what happened to my bar. Let's see, Essentials Classic. Oh, there we go. The gutter, I want it to be more narrow between the columns. That's a bit better. And then we can move this over so it's not so close to the edge. Okay. And I would add in at the bottom here, I would just make sure that the email is in here. So trying to get that, you have contact us today. Still down here. And then you could just have the email, phone number, and then maybe like an alt or option 8 email. You just put the email address here. This would have to be a little bit taller, I think. And then you probably want to bring these lines down too. Let's see. Just to kind of finish up. Something like that, maybe. This could be narrower. It doesn't have to be that wide. Something like that, maybe. And then, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking you could do. And maybe even a little bit different treatment with this text. This also looks like I only have a BFA and not an MFA, so they probably want to know that. This might look better just center aligned too, or maybe like this, and then narrower, and then maybe cutting out some of that copy in both of these might be a good idea, and moving them away from the edge a little bit more, and centering everything, obviously. But anyway, that's about what I have. Talk to you later.